Chad Reed is fulfilling the high expectations placed on him by Team Yamaha. Last week in Pontiac, Michigan Silverdome, he won his 3rd consecutive event. His aggressive and confident riding style has left Ricky Carmichael, the series points leader, frustrated as he questions what could be done better and is forced to settle with 2nd place finishes. The series has now moved to Dallas, Texas, and only 3 events remain in the season. Can Chad continue his win streak? We'll find out as the THQ World Supercross GP and the AMA Supercross Series takes place in Texas Stadium next. Welcome to Texas Stadium, just outside of Dallas in the city of Irving. Normally home to the NFL Dallas Cowboys, tonight it's home to the THQ World Supercross GP and the AMA Supercross Series. Hello once again, everybody. Todd Harris along with the champ, David Bailey. Well, right off the bat, by virtue of winning last week in Pontiac, Chad Reed has done it. He has clinched the THQ World Supercross GP title. As we take a look at those standings, it's Reed, Vuillemin, Ferry, Voss, and Johnson. A few weeks ago, we were talking about Ricky Carmichael, unstoppable. Now, it looks like the unstoppable one is Chad Reed.
Well, Chad's the one with all the momentum, the 3-race win streak, and I think he's getting under the skin of Carmichael a little bit. This was the start. This is what made the difference last weekend in Pontiac. We're going to highlight Chad Reed for us. He came into the first corner, not a good start, but he was able to steer clear of the wreck. He get into the inside, came out in 2nd place behind the whole shot of Sean Hamblin. Behind him, Ricky Carmichael's front end washed out. The pack caught up to him, and he ended up way too far back to give any kind of challenge to Reed, who took the lead right here over Sean Hamblin on lap 1. Carmichael back in 6th. The start made all the difference. You can see there he wasn't happy.
Well, the podium for the 3rd week in a row looked the same. It's Reed, then Carmichael, and Fonseca as we look at the Honda Series standings. And there's Ricky Carmichael's lead, not big at all, followed by Reed, Vuillemin, Fonseca, and Ferry. Another guy who's looked very good over the last few weeks and today in practice, Sean Hamblin.
Well, he looks great. You know, the podium's been the same for the last 3 weeks with Reed, then Carmichael, and then Fonseca, but Sean Hamblin is the one guy who's picking up some momentum that could spoil that. And then you've got the privateer battle with Clark and Johnson. That just keeps getting better and better with a lot of stake.
All right, should be a great night of racing here in Dallas, Texas. Right now, let's check in with the 3rd member of our broadcast team, the one and only Cameron Steele.
Well, guys, you can see by the crowd they're ready to go Supercross racing, and not to mention they love this guy, the Suzuki Sobe Factor rider, Travis Pastrana. Not racing tonight, but Travis, I want to ask you, Chad Reed, Ricky Carmichael, how does this thing play out? Is Ricky conservative going for the championship or what?
Ricky is never conservative. He wants to go out there and win. Every race is like a championship to that guy, and I'll tell you what, Chad is pumped as well. It is going to be 1 dice to the finish line tonight.
What do you think, bar to bar? Are they parking each other? I mean, are they going to try to stay away from each other?
There's no way those two are going to try to stay away from each other. They're going to try to knock each other down as quick as possible out there tonight.
Right on. We can see all the fans want to see Travis. Travis, when are we going to see you back on a dirt bike? Salt Lakes in a couple weeks. Are you ready to go?
I feel like I am ready to go, but I just have to work a lot on the outdoor testing, and I'd love to come back, but I got to get the okay from Roger DeCoster, Team Suzuki, and we might do the smart thing, wait for outdoor, but I'd really like to come back sooner.
Well, I think the fans would like to have him back. Check it out. They're going nuts up there. We are ready to go Supercross racing.
All right, thank you very much, Cameron. David, now time for the THQ track map for Dallas.
You got a 120-yard drag race into a tight first corner. Looks a lot like it did last week in Pontiac with that little pyramid there. Another one of those after the next left that sends you into the first triple. Another hard left and down through a rhythm section. Takes you into the longest and first whoop section of the night before you cross the start. Get signals from your mechanics up over the finish line jump. More rhythm sections, a hard left up onto these plateaus. A hard right around the edge of the race of the stadium before you go back under the tunnel to the starting line.
250, heat number 1 on the line. There is Chad Reed, the man who has a 3-race winning streak. As always, looks calm, cool, collected. You think he played much golf this week, David?
Probably kept out. He lives on a golf course, so he's always doing that. And, you know, he's got a little bit of help. There's a little bit more blue down there in the starting line this week with Tedesco and Sellers. So I don't know if those guys are going to really try to mess with Carmichael or not, but they're not going to make it any easier for him, that's for sure.
Let's take a look at the Nissan starting grid. Chad Reed, Wade, Johnson, Clark, Tedesco's in there, as is Brock Sellers. Josh Demon's in there. Casey Lytle also in heat number 1, and the rest of the boys. Tyler Evans, number 64, qualifying. The 30 board is up. Ryan Clark, Team Solitaire Yamaha rider, another one of the boys in blue, will be manning the helmet cam tonight. He's done a great job thus far. Might win an Academy Award. Why take it away from him? There is Keith Johnson, Bobby J's Yamaha, one of the top privateers in a battle with Clark for that big cash money and a new truck. Ivan Tedesco, who just came off a big win last week on the 125 East Circuit. This is 250 heat number 1 from Dallas, Texas. And look at Tedesco.
Wow. He had to ride a preliminary qualifier this afternoon. He whole shot on that one as well. He took the start dial.
Well, Tedesco unable to hold that line and keep it. As Brian Mason out of Nashville, Illinois, that'll lead them through. And I think you were prophetic, David Bailey, the little professor, and you coming out. Look at all that blue out there. Like someone broke a big pin on the track. It's nothing but blue.
Mason holds on to the lead. Sellers, look at Chad Reed all the way down the outside. So Mason's going, okay, I need to pick it up through there, that's for sure.
Bye-bye. Like a stewardess, just waving bye-bye.
Great start for Mason. One of the privateers out there trying to mix it up with the pro guys, but I think he just got a little lesson there. And what kind of a difference there is between the privateers and the factory guys, especially Chad Reed.
Well, Chad Reed leaving nothing to the imagination here. He's certainly looking for win number 4, getting the tear off there, and he is off. Behind him, it's Brock Sellers, Mason holding down 3rd, and then we go back to number 37, and that is our helmet cam. Ryan Clark in the mix, sitting in 4th right now.
And this is like the Yamaha heat race.
Ryan's trying to get himself a little podium action right now, sitting behind Mason. Oh, looked like he might park him right there, holds off. Remember.
And there goes, that's what it looks like. Yep. When you go down, he's okay, but
Tedesco's down.
Now he's just got to wait through the pack. He'll have to ride the semi for sure. So what he'll do from this point to the end of the race is sort of take inventory on the bike and notice, okay, that we definitely need to change the handlebars, we need to change that.
Well, when you make a mistake and you're wearing the helmet, we got to watch it one more time.
Right behind Mason right here. Watch, he'll get out, just get the front end high enough over that bump. And Tedesco, the wrong place at the wrong time again. At least he didn't go down.
If Clark was wearing red, would Tedesco run over him?
Maybe. A little later on. I'm glad everyone's okay. I don't like laughing at people crashing, but
no question.
Yeah, a great shot of it.
And now Mason's gone down on the other end of the course, so we've got a little bit of a jumble right now. It's Reed and Sellers 1 and 2. Mason has dropped out, so Wade will move up, and then Tedesco gets an opportunity to slide up as well. We'll step aside from Irving, Texas. When we come back to Texas Stadium, more of heat number 1 in the 250 with Chad Reed dominating. Classic. Welcome back to Texas Stadium, home of the Cowboys, but today it's home to the Aussie as Chad Reed continues to dominate the 250 heat number 1. Well, we're going to watch Chad Reed, and he's got this little move that he likes to unweave for you, as we say, on the far side triple. And it's just amazing how fast he goes through this whole sequence, David. I mean, he's certainly done his time on the practice. But look at this. This is Chad Reed, number 22 on the blue Yamaha.
Right there, just a little scrub to try to stay as low as possible. Then he just throws it up into that left-hand berm and comes down through the next rhythm section and only touches twice. Carmichael will be running the same line in the next section, in the next heat race, but it's who can do it the fastest. And right now, Chad Reed is racing the clock. He would love to come in from this. Besides having his motorcycle and then his line sorted out and feel good physically, he would love to be able to look at those lap times and the overall heat race times and have it be faster than Carmichael's in the next heat.
Well, just to give you an idea of how fast he is, he just passed our helmet cam, and I'm telling you, that helmet cam is not heavy. Jeff Silverman, I think he's got that thing down to, what, about 3 or 4 ounces? So Chad Reed is just fast. That's bottom line. He's a prodigy.
And you know, he seems to have been getting the whoop sections dialed in. He's been a little bit faster through the whoop sections the past 2 races than Carmichael. And, you know, that was never really a weakness of Ricky. And since he started his winning ways, and Chad has been able to step it up a little bit. This afternoon, with Ricky chasing Chad around the track a little bit in the second practice session, Carmichael went down hard in the whoop section, and then they came back out and chopped him down about a foot. So,
well, let me ask you this then, champ. Look into your crystal ball and better actually look into your heat list. who has the better heat, and who do you think is stacked better to get a better time? Do you think Ricky's got an advantage, or do you think Chad does?
Well, the track, as he gets one more lap to go, the track, I think it's hard to say right now if it's going to get more slick or if it's going to get a little bit better. That's really going to tell the difference between whether Ricky or Chad has the faster heat. Right now, I'd have to say Chad's going to have a faster heat. And just because he demands it, and he's been getting them in the past few races. I don't see any reason for that to stop now. Ricky, when he tries to go faster, you're going to watch him light that tire up and just get a lot of wheel spin. So it takes finesse to go fast on this slick surface, and I think in the finesse department, Chad's winning by just a notch.
Well, 8 laps has come to a conclusion rather quick for Chad Reed. This is his final lap as the Thunder from down under marches on to possibly a 4th straight victory in the 250. Number 4, Ricky Carmichael, the 2-time defending champion, will have something to say about that. But number 22, the Yamaha rider from Australia, Chad Reed, picks up yet another victory in heat number 1. Reed just dominating out there. Fast lap time of 54.7. Unbelievable. Brock Sellards now trying to wheel his way into this thing, and it looks like it's going to be Wade who gets second. And here's Ivan Tedesco coming in. Brock Sellards and Tedesco will be your top 4. Remember, the top 4 going to the main event. 5 through 20 go to semifinal number 1. We take a look at the Honda Heat 1 official results. It's Chad Reed, your winner, followed by Nick Way, Brock Sellards, Ivan Tedesco, and Tyler Evans, top 5. He'll have to go to the semi number 1. Right now, let's set it down to Cameron Steele, who's with Chad Reed.
Well, another impressive heat win for Chad Reed. Chad, the question is, how is the track tonight for the battle coming? Everybody's looking forward to the Ricky Carmichael-Chad Reed fight.
You know, it's a good track for it because there's, you know, very little traction. And, you know, when that happens, it seems to even the field out. And I'm looking forward to a good race. I think tonight's going to be the one. You know, we need both good starts. And, you know, I just want to finish the season strong and do the best I can. There's a lot of people out there that support me, Thor, Parts Unlimited, Yamaha. I just want to thank them a lot and see what we can do in the main event.
Cool, we'll see you in the main.
All right, Cameron, bye.
There's a growing trend among Supercross's most elite riders. It's the purchase of their home away from home. We had a chance to tour a couple of them for what we're calling Supercross Cribs.
Hey, just in time, you can make you a sandwich.
Make you a sandwich. Okay. All right, Larry, so tell us about your bus here. What's the best thing about it?
Right now, Jamie Little's in it. That's the best thing.
For real, though, what is the coolest thing? You've got 2 TVs going on here. Nice and spacious.
The coolest thing is that I'm at a Supercross right now in the pit area, and I'm in here all by myself. That's pretty nice.
All right, Chad, so what are we going to see here?
It's just, you know, it's kind of like my little home away from home and, you know, just little things that I need at the races to make winning easier. Here we got the massage table. And my favorite thing of the whole place is probably the TV. We got the 42-inch plasma, which is pretty cool. I don't even have one of these in my house, but, you know, it's an expensive thing, and it's kind of like one of those things that I see is it's investing in my career. You know, it makes it better for me and makes my job a little easier. And, you know, if it makes me win races or helps me in some other way, then it's pretty much doing its job.
Heat number 2 from Irving, Texas. Texas Stadium on the line. There's the 2-time defending champion and the man who has won the last 2 years here in Texas, Ricky Carmichael, number 4. We'll take a look at the THQ starting grid. It's Carmichael, Fonseca, Voss, and Ward. Also, Hamlin's out there. This is a tough one. Greg Schnell, Chris Papworth, and Clark Stiles. Also, Kenny Bartram, the Cowboy, the 2002 Vans Triple Crown of Freestyle Motocross Champion. I'll tell you what, this guy is a pleasure to watch. I think he'd like to uncork a few things out there, but right now, Kenny the Cowboy Bartram's all about racing.
Well, you know, I think it's great, too, to see them to be able to be that talented and creative in freestyle, and then just to come out here and go, hey, I'll ride a 250 main. He already qualified for the program earlier this afternoon.
And we are off and racing. Carmichael on the inside lane. He's got a rider to his left. That's number 28, Voss. Riders go sideways. And Kenny Bartram mixed up in that. Meanwhile, Ricky Carmichael does what he has to do, stays to the outside away from the carnage. And it's number 4, Carmichael out in front. He's got Voss in tow, 1 and 2.
That was just desire right there. Ricky just leaned in on that big 450 of Heath Voss and said, I don't care how much horsepower that thing makes. I'm going to leave it on longer.
And look at 33, Sean Hamblin, who we talked about at the top of the show, sitting in 3rd place. Ricky, David, I think he's got to send a message right now to Chad Reed and the rest of Yamaha that he's here for real.
Well, he did.
Start one more time.
He already did. He just ducked in there to get the lead. Sean Hamblin was really lucky to get sideways and be able to stay on the racetrack, currently running 3rd. But Ricky's opening lap so far, I've had my eyes on him as Larry Ward makes up another position on Schnell. Man, I'll tell you what, Carmichael he's nailing his lines. We'll see how his lap times shape up to those of Chad Reed. 54.7 is the time to beat.
Take a look at Larry Ward coming through the tunnel right now. Team Moto X Yoshimura Honda rider on the Honda CRF 450R. Gets great starts out of Florence, South Carolina, 32 years of age, 6'3", 175. He's pretty much shot everything that's out there. We had a rider going down.
Clark Styles, Ward. I thought it was Ward planting his teammate.
Clark Styles just lays it over.
And
that's what you talked about. Yeah, that you push it a little too much, as Ricky's found out. Bottom line will come out from underneath you. Meanwhile, Carmichael, RC number 4, out in front. Styles is 47, Honda 250 out of Athens, Alabama. Here it is. He comes into the picture.
He just didn't get lined up in a rut right away. You see that front wheel turning. He was already crashing when he came into the picture, and there goes Fonseca, Carmichael's teammate. And watch Ricky. His first lap, 55.6.
So just off the pace put up by Chad Reed. Remember, best time gets the choice. Ricky Carmichael on the Honda 250 out of Havana, Florida, number 4. He's got 7 wins so far this year. He'd like to make it 8 in Texas.
He blasted out of that corner, and we watch him quadruple his way into that turn. Here comes the whoop section. Oh, no. Lost his balance up over the top of the berm. Parks the bike nicely.
Unbelievable.
THQ, one of Ricky's sponsors, he's really showing him some love there. Now it's going to get good because he's got to catch Hamblin and Voss. Voss from nearby San Antonio. Pretty nearby. This is going to be interesting.
Larry Ward's in front of him. We look at it one more time.
He jumps in there a little bit hot. He just is high-siding. He can't lean into the corner because he clipped that jump and he missed the rear brake, I think.
And we got a rider down in a very precarious situation before they come into the tunnel. He can't move his bike. It looks like the Cowboy. Is that the Cowboy down?
Kenny Bartram
Ricky
off the
going
triple.
down one more time.
He broke his bike in half.
Kenny Bartram has broken his bike in half down by the tunnel. So Bartram, unbelievable, folks. The whole front end is gone. It's in 2 pieces.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to ride the semi.
Well, he's going to have to pull a Larry Ward magic trick out of his hat because if you've never seen it before, Kenny Bartram almost gets taken out by the crew.
While all that was happening, we got a new leader now. Sean Hamblin gets around Voss, realizes, hey, man, with Ricky back in the pack, he might be able to steal another heat win. He won in Houston, his first heat win ever.
We are going to step aside from Texas, but we come back. We'll have the conclusion of Heat 2 in the 250 class, plus the Thor rider profile right after this. Welcome back to Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. Unbelievable mayhem on the track here. Right now, let's check in with Cameron Steele.
Well, guys, some you never want to see a broken bike. Freestyle rider Kenny Bartram joining us for Supercross. Kenny, your mechanic, Travis Pastrana. Is this something on Travis?
Yeah, Travis told me right before I took off the starting line, he's never even put a spark plug in before. So, I think that was it.
Right on, Kenny. All jokes aside, are you all right when we see you back in the semi?
I'm definitely really sore, but I doubt I'm going to be back. I don't know, I just came out to have fun. I was having a whole lot of fun. I went down in the first turn, but just kind of taking it easy and just unfortunate crash.
We can put your side panels on Grant Langston's bike. I know it's in the semi.
Actually, there's not a 250 in there.
Oh, never mind. Kenny Bartram's out, but hey, it was fun seeing him.
Thank you, Cameron.
I think Ricky can catch Voss, but I don't know if he's going to have time to get Hamblin. And you know, this slick surface, you're going to see spots around these shiny spots. any of that light colored dirt. It's blue groove, we call it. It's just like water in the street. I mean, it just gets so slippery. You've got to stay clear of that stuff. And as hard as Ricky gets on the throttle, and as hard as he pushes that front tire to get it laid over, man, there's not a good enough tire made for the ambition of Carmichael. So he's really got to be careful out here and use a little bit more finesse.
This is 250 heat number 2 from Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. Your leader, Sean Hamblin, number 33. Voss, 28, sits in second, and Ricky Carmichael, who was our leader, number 4, has fallen back, and he's starting to reel Voss in. David, I think you're right. He might catch him.
Now he's making some mistakes. He just blew that loop section that lap, and he blew the rhythm section leading up to it, which... Oh, and the leader is down. Hamblin.
Sean Hamblin goes down. That makes Voss have to slow down, and Hamblin looks like he really has a problem right now, unable to get up. They're trying to protect him the best they can, and this is a disaster for Team Sobe Suzuki. They have lost so many riders this year, and Hamblin looks like he is seriously injured.
I hate this so much.
It's terrible to see that happen.
This season has just been one after the other. I mean, and I don't know what to attribute that to. I mean, if these guys are, to me, it didn't look like Sean was pushing that hard.
Oh, he just comes up short.
Yeah, the bike folded him a little bit. It kind of missed him, but to watch it again from another angle, watch, he's just going to just chest plant. Bam! See, the bike did miss him, but, you know, just jump out of the front of the bike, you know, on a 35-foot jump, just land on your hands and chest. That doesn't feel good. Now Carmichael does have a chance to win this race.
The white flag comes out. They're going to have to slow way down right now. They have to slow down. Nothing drastic here, and now they go back to racing. Heath Voss, your leader, number 28 on the Yamaha YZ450F, Team Yamaha, Mach 1 Yamaha, out of Mico, Texas, 24 years of age, a 10-year pro, and his technician right now, Sean Ward, is probably going nuts.
Well, I'll tell you what, I cannot believe that Voss has been able to hold off Ricky for this long. And I mentioned Voss being from Texas. This dirt is no stranger to him. That 4-stroke 450 Yamaha hooks up a little bit more of a tractor coming out of all these corners, where Ricky's got plenty of power, but a lot of wheel spin.
Well, coming around, here he comes. Carmichael trying to triple his way into it. He gets it back, cannot slide in, tries to pivot on it. They both come together, and the whoop section will tell the tale of the tape as Carmichael gets it done. An amazing move by Carmichael. He was back in 5th and comes back to get the victory. And I know that's not the way Ricky likes to win, with Sean Hamblin going down. But folks, that is Supercross racing at its best. Carmichael did what he had to do. And on the last lap, as Greg Schnell looks like he will be the final qualifier. Ward goes through, he gets 3rd. Greg Schnell will get 4th. As we take a look at the THQ, Suzuki Heat 2 official results, it is Ricky Carmichael, followed by Heath Voss, Larry Ward, and Greg Schnell all qualify. James Pavolny will join a cast of many as they go on. 5 through 20, just semifinal number 2. Right now, let's check in with Cameron Steele.
Well, I thought that Ricky Carmichael was only focusing on Chad Reed in the battle, and maybe that's how it got away from him in that heat race. Ricky, what happened?
You know, I came up short, and my feet came off the pegs, and just a rookie move out there. You know, I don't know what the problem is. I just all over the place, and I need to figure it out for the main event, definitely. You know, I thought that I got second. I thought Ernesto Fonseca was leading, and I came out, and they said, oh, you won. So, what the heck.
Great job, Ricky. Hopefully the main will be a little smoother for you.
Me too. It needs to be. It's fun because this is a family deal for us. It's not like it's just my business or my thing. My whole family's here supporting me. My sister's got something to do. My dad is into building trucks like this. We all love it, and this is what we like to do on our weekends. And it's great that Heather has been here since I think '96. Every weekend she's here, and it's nice to have a family that supports you, and everybody's committed, and everybody stands behind you. And you know, when I have tough times, you know, they're there to pick me up and say, hey, keep moving forward. And so it's great.
It's time now for our Honda Flashback. This week we look back to Arnhem Holland the second stop of the THQ World Supercross GP, and Chad Reed's first event win on the 250. Hey, if you can, join us in person for the THQ World Supercross GP and the AMA Supercross Series. Coming up, Salt Lake City, Utah, April 26th at Rice-Eccles Stadium. And then the finals, Las Vegas, Nevada on May 3rd at Sam Boyd Stadium. For more information, www.sxgp.com. And if you can't make it to the event, you want to still experience it live, you can do so at sxgp.com, 7 p.m. local venue time. Follow it all the way through to the 250 main event. That's sxgp.com for live Supercross action. Coming up next, it's the main event from Dallas, Texas.
Suzuki Fest. And Sunday, only on ESPN.
And welcome back to Dallas, Texas and Texas Stadium. This is the AMA Supercross Series and the THQ World Supercross GP from Dallas, Texas. It's time now for our Nissan qualifying highlights. This is the action from semifinal number 1. The start being so critical, everyone made a beeline to the inside lane.
Ryan Clark was the man on the move, carrying our helmet camera through the whoops, battling with Jason Thomas early, but eventually the lighter, more nimble two-stroke, he used it to his advantage to take over the lead.
Especially through the whoop sections, the helmet cam worked his way all the way to the front. Thomas and the rest of the pack, including Casey Lytle, would chase. But in the end, the victory would go to Ryan Clark, number 37. In semifinal number 2, it was good to see Sean Hamblin back up and riding.
But Fonseca stole the whole shot. So the two heavy hitters of this semi took off first and second. That's the way it stayed all the way to the end, with Fonseca turning quite a bit faster laps than Hamblin, who was still obviously shaken by his crash in the heat.
Ernesto Fonseca would pick up the heat victory in semifinal number 2, and that took us to the LCQ, everyone turning out to see who would be the final 2 competitors to advance to the main event.
Well, everybody was taking a look at Keith Johnson as these guys battled for the lead. Demas and Olaf, and then it was Johnson making a move on Campbell. And at the same time that was happening, there was a pass for the lead with Demas taking over, and all eyes were on Johnson to try to make that last lap pass to get into the main event and save that privateer money in the Nissan truck.
So as we take a look at your Nissan qualifying highlights, a great ride by Johnson as it gets him into the main event. Josh Demas gets the victory in the LCQ. And for Joe Aloff, it is the Racer X gas card. There's your Suzuki starting grid. Reed's in there, Carmichael, Way, Voss, and Sellards, as is Ivan Tedesco's look good, and Ernesto Fonseca. The 30 board is up. Interesting strategy move. Carmichael surrounded by blue. Usually he'd want to have himself with Fonseca and maybe some other friendly riders, but tonight he's going to go head-to-head with the boys from Team Yamaha. Can Carmichael get the jump he needs, or will Chad Reed make it 4 in a row, folks? It's time to find out who's going to win. Keep your eye on the sxgp.com whole shot, and we'll find out. Drop the dinner, put the babies to bed. It's the 250 main from Dallas, Texas. Carmichael gets a great jump, but Reed slides to the back behind him.
Carmichael and Reed tangled. Reed almost went down the starting line.
So Larry Ward, the 2 Hondas out in front. This could not be better for Team Honda right now. Ricky Carmichael will make the pass easily over Ward. Ward slides into second. 27 sliding up Nick Way, and Fonseca comes into view. So it's Honda 1, 2, and 3.
Then Chad, unbelievable. Look at the momentum by Chad. Gets around Fonseca. That's one less Honda you have to deal with. So now it's just Carmichael with Larry Ward is a little bit of a buffer if you want to look at it that way. Then Chad Reed. Chad is in position to win the race. So it's Ricky. But Chad, I mean, when we go back and look at that, if we have it, I'll tell you what, Chad,
he stayed up.
Could have gone down. Yeah. There he goes for second.
So here's what everyone's hoped for as we look at the start one more time. Oh, Chad is lucky he didn't break his left ankle.
That was close. It was close for Ricky, too. I don't think they meant to hit each other, but it was ugly. And now Chad has already reeled him in. It's amazing to think of what happened to Chad off that start. And he got shuffled clear back. He was in about 6th or 7th. And here we are at lap 2, and he's right on his rear fender.
Chad Reed, number 22 on the Yamaha YZ250 out of Curry, New South Wales. And here he comes. He's been faster all day through the whoop section. Chad Reed on a 3-race winning streak. Before that, it was Carmichael on a 4-race winning streak. hope for all year long. The battle between 1 and 2 for 20 laps. We are going 20 laps in Texas Stadium. Can Chad Reed pass him? Can Ricky Carmichael hold him off?
Here it comes. I thought Chad Reed might have an inside right there. He's going to force Ricky to ride the perfect race. If Ricky wins this, I'm running down there to shake his hand because Chad is going to force him to ride flawless. I think Chad's faster through the whoops. You know, Todd, and if he can get close to him, he's dropped back a bike length or two, and that's going to kill him. If he can get right back up on his rear fender and get a run at him through the whoops, that's his spot.
We'll be back to Texas Stadium for more of this incredible 250 main event right after this short break.
They got a pogo stick.
Welcome back to Texas Stadium. The 250 main is in progress as Ricky Carmichael and Chad Reed continue to battle for first.
Now here's where Chad's got to be careful not to give Ricky anything extra. There you go.
There it is. Chad Reed on the inside and takes over the lead. Chad Reed, number 22, moves into first place. Chad Reed, Australian for winning right now, and he's doing it in Texas.
I was about to say, last year Vuillemin had a run at Ricky and decided to lay up, pass him late in the race, and it didn't work. You give Ricky a second chance, and he'll just turn it up that much more and put you away. But this time, it almost looked like Ricky knew it was coming and just got out of the way and said, you know what, go ahead. You've been getting me going faster through the section all night. Look at Ricky. He doesn't fight for it. He just sits there. Go ahead.
Realized that he made a mistake.
Now he can turn the tables and put the pressure on Chad, and you know, I say this a lot, but now Ricky can do the learning and figure out, oh, he gets on the gas a little earlier right there, and he moves over a foot to hit that little traction spot. All right, got that figured out too. Ricky had a block pass going to that corner. If that was the last lap, he could have done it. He laid up. He's just studying Chad right now. Riding lessons for both these guys.
The race is not even halfway over. We hate to neglect the rest of the field, but we've got two of the best in the business. This is the 250 main from Texas Stadium. It is Reed, it is Carmichael, Fonseca, Way, and Ward round out the top 5. But the crowd is on their feet. The flash bulbs are going off, and this is an epic battle.
Well, I don't think Carmichael likes to lose.
Here it is. Ricky thought about the block pass there. He just didn't have the position.
There he goes. Look at these guys trying to be careful, not ruin a good race. Ricky doesn't want to irritate Chad and give Chad any reason to mess him up for the championship.
Oh my goodness! And here comes Carmichael right back.
This is total respect right now. They're going, all right, you know what? I could have parked that guy, but I don't want to. Respect him too much. Ricky's got to be careful because he can still get second the rest of the way, or even worse than that, and win the championship. Right now, he's just trying to figure out how he can beat Chad Reed.
Clark Stiles becomes the first lap rider, and we're not even halfway through the race, so it shows you just how fast they're going. Lap time, a 56 for Carmichael and a 56.2 for Chad Reed. So, impressive times, and we knew they'd come down, and Ricky's starting to open up a little bit of a gap. Probably the most room he's had all night.
Well, you know, they were just killing each other with kindness there, that last lap. I'm like, come on, guys, maybe taking it a little bit too easy. And see if Chad can reel him back in. If he can, then we're still going.
They come up on number 40, James Pavoni Jr. Ricky Carmichael now sensing a slight opening. This is the bigger lead that he's had pretty much all night long over Chad Reed other than the first lap. And Ricky having a little problem right there. Bobble, Chad Reed right back on him. Let's check in with Cameron. He's with Mike Gosler, Ricky Carmichael's mechanic.
Mike, I want to ask you, Ricky's in the lead right now. How's the lap time stacked up all day in practice and all that?
They've been really close. This is going to be a dogfight to the end, I believe.
That's what everybody's looking for.
That's what they want.
Thank you, Cameron.
This is not really anything other than a psychological battle right now. That's all this is. And what's happening is Fonseca back in third has never been such a distant third this early in the race. I mean, these guys, they're so good, and they're teaching each other even more right now, which is even worse for the rest of the pack. These guys guys were having a hard enough time trying to keep these guys in their sights as it was. It's starting to heat up again now. These guys are...
Chad Reed's getting a little impatient. Here it comes. The fans are on their feet. Chad Reed a little more power as he goes through there a little cleaner. Ricky comes right back as they make their way to the triple. And what a show. So number 22, Chad Reed, retakes the lead. Ricky Carmichael, number 4, is in second. Carmichael is your overall points leader. Chad Reed is the rookie who is trying to spoil his party in a run at a 3rd consecutive title.
What a difference a year makes. Last year, Carmichael, a little bit of pressure from Vuillemin at one point in the race, but he was able to hang on and win it. And Chad Reed didn't even finish the race.
Look at this. Ricky looking faster to the whoop. And give credit to the folks here at Texas Stadium. They are witnessing a great race, and they're respecting it. They're cheering both these guys on.
Nobody is sitting. You and I are the only ones sitting in this whole building.
Look at this. Ricky Carmichael pops in front. Chad Reed tries to block past him and shuts him down.
Wow. Beautiful little last-minute correction by Chad, who made a mistake, and he thought, all right, cleanly, I can still shove my front wheel back in there and cut off the opportunity for Ricky to take advantage of that. He's able to do it without contact.
We'll step aside, but we come back to Irving, Texas, and Texas Stadium. We'll continue the battle between Ricky Carmichael and Chad Reed in the 250 main. Stay with us.
Motors.
Welcome back to Texas Stadium as the 250 main is winding down. And now they have to start dealing with a lot of lap riders. For Chad Reed, it's all blue, so they're going to certainly give way, and they will for Ricky as well. But Ricky's having problems.
So did Chad.
Both of them having their problems. Chad gets a more beneficial slot as he moves back in. Wow.
Well, I thought Chad was starting to get clear of Ricky, but a couple of mistakes by both these guys and advantage Ricky.
Well, the fastest lap tonight has been turned in by Chad Reed at 56.135. Ricky Carmichael at 56.331 to show you just how close they are, and it's been like this since lap number 1.
Whoever wins this race, I think if Ricky wins this race, it's gonna look like he won the title, because this is important. And Chad's pretty cool. I don't know that you're gonna see that much emotion from him. He's probably being told that a lot by his trainer as well, Jeff Spencer. Worked with Lance Armstrong in the Tour de France the past few seasons. Working with Chad Reed, probably letting Chad know, look, hey, another mistake. Hey, if you win this thing, don't look so surprised. It'll be interesting to see the emotion of these guys, whoever wins this. This is a pivotal point in the psychological battle and in the bragging rights between these two.
This is the 250 main from Texas Stadium. Your leader right now, number 22, Chad Reed. In second place, the overall points leader, Ricky Carmichael. And here's the bobble by Chad Reed. Comes up short right there and just stops all his momentum.
While he was having those problems, Ricky was having his, but Ricky's used to that stuff. He makes a lot more mistakes than Chad makes, so he's able to recover from that stuff a little better. It seems like when they both make mistakes, Ricky seems to make up time there.
Let's check in with Cameron Steele. He's with Dave Dye, Chad Reed's mechanic.
Well, Dave, how are the pins and needles right now? Can Chad hold all the way through with his help?
Yeah, I hope so. He's, he's going to fight all the way to the end. He's pretty strong.
Health's a bad way to say it, but his fitness is good, right?
Yeah, fitness is awesome.
We know Ricky trains hard. How about Chad?
Oh, yeah, Chad trains probably just as hard.
It's an awesome race. Thanks, Dave.
Way doing an amazing job. Put himself in the podium position to get around Fonseca, who's been third the last 3 weeks. Nick Way, semi-factory support. What a ride by him. It's long overdue. He's had a few shots at podiums. Had some of them slip away, but this one, he's got a real chance this one. He's in the same position Sean Hamblin was last week.
Ernesto Fonseca, number 24 in the Honda CR 250R Team Honda out of San Jose, Costa Rica, trying to reel way back in. As David pointed out, he's been on the podium the last 3 weeks behind Reed and Carmichael. He'd like to get back on top of there.
All right, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty now. This is it. This is where Chad has got to be perfect. The decisions he makes to get around lapped riders have to be critical. They're critical in terms of not letting Ricky see a flaw or an opening and able to get in there and make a pass. When with the laps that are remaining, Chad not having time to respond. Everything's got to be flawless. All the pressure's on Chad now.
Well, Ricky's also got to stay calm. He's got the talent to get by him. He's just got to not force it too much, because if an opportunity arises, he's got to be right there ready to pounce on it.
Well, I mean, hey, if he loses, you know, hey, he's trying to protect the championship. He doesn't need to ride as hard as Chad does. Chad has nothing to lose here. And the other thing is that if he does lose this race to Chad, you know, he's losing by 10 bike lengths.
Carmichael gives a look to Brock Sellers on the Yamaha ride right there. As we are coming down, you got to look at the Honda stopwatch, just how close it is. Chad Reed goes to the outside of the whoop section. Ricky to the inside, having a few more problems there. And Ricky's starting to lose touch with Chad Reed, number 22. Our leader in the 250 main, Carmichael, number 4. Look at it one more time.
Chad pushing the edge, landing on that Kawasaki tough block, using the entire racetrack, taking all the chances he needs to take. Ricky, of course, doing the same thing back there behind him, but losing a little bit of time. This could be it. This could be Chad saying, all right, this is the knockout punch. Try to stay with me. This is the part of the race that Ricky has always bragged about. I'm fit. Nobody can touch me at the end of a race. Right now, Chad's pulling away.
Meanwhile, Ernesto Fonseca has reclaimed third, Nick Way in fourth. We'll see if Fonseca stays on top of the podium. But we are coming down to the final few laps. Ricky Carmichael trying to reel in Chad Reed. You've seen the thriller in Manila. Well, it's the throwdown in Dallas right now as Chad Reed tries to claim his 4th straight victory. Ricky Carmichael tries to claim what he feels is rightfully his, the #1 position.
Yeah, Ricky's in a tough spot here, you know. Now watch what Nick Way does right here. He goes in, just lets Fonseca know, hey, you know what? You passed me, but I'm still here. That gets your attention. And Reed continuing to hold his gap over Ricky. Looks like Fonseca's got Way put away for the podium, but pretty impressed by Reed right now. This was the race. We'd all been wondering what would happen if they were together from the beginning, if they're together the whole race, and it was all fair.
And Tyler Evans getting passed. Look at this. Tyler Evans getting passed again. He's thinking, you guys again? Unbelievable. Have you ever seen this happen? The podium exactly the same 4 weeks in a row?
No, but I've never seen as many injuries and riders missing as I have this year. So pretty much the best 3 riders. And they're going to end up there after 20 laps.
The white flag is out. This is the final lap. Carmichael's got to hope that Reed makes a mistake, and Ricky's got to be right there to pounce. Chad Reed trying for his 4th straight race victory. Ricky Carmichael trying to get off that 2nd podium position. And the way Chad's riding, I just don't see it happening. All the confidence in the world for the Australian. Remember, folks, he is a 250 rookie. He won the 125 East title last year. And right now, Ricky Carmichael can do nothing to reel him in.
He's still trying. Chad Reed's got to get around Larry Ward. I wonder if he's thinking what I'm thinking. That's a Honda. Sure wish that was a Yamaha. I don't think Larry's going to do anything to interfere right there, but Ricky is closing in a little bit. Chad cannot afford a mistake through these whoops.
Reed is clean to the whoops, and now Carmichael behind him. Your winner in the 250 main from Dallas, number 22, the Thunder from Down Under. Chad Reed is a perfect 4 for 4. Ricky Carmichael, the goggles come off. The frustration begins because now he has to sit for 2 weeks before Salt Lake City, and look at that.
Chad just drops his bike.
Unbelievable scene as they greet each other. I know Ricky did the classy thing, but that was painful. And Chad Reed,
he's hugging Jimmy Perry right there. Ricky stopped to say, hey, way to go. Now the gap is 13.
We'll take a brief break, but when we come back to Texas Stadium, we'll have official results, plus we'll have special interviews from both Ricky Carmichael and Chad Reed. Stay with us. Scooters. Welcome back to Dallas, Texas. We are in Texas Stadium in Irving, and we just witnessed one of the best 250 mains we have seen all year. As we take a look at our Honda official results, Chad Reed is your winner. On board is Yamaha. Ricky Carmichael's Honda comes in second, and Ernesto Fonseca rounds out the podium. Right now, let's send it down to Cameron Steele.
Well, guys, if there's ever a question to this guy's grit, stamina, determination, or skill, whoop, right out the window. Chad Reed, that was probably the most unbelievable ride I've ever seen.
It was a great ride, you know. I think it's #1 on my list because, you know, Ricky almost got the whole shot and I was kind of, you know, in the middle, and there was all Honda guys and I'm like, oh no. But I just tried to make, you know, quick work of him as fast as possible, and, you know, I got right on him, and, you know, I just wanted to have a clean race. You know, I could quite easily, you know, just send him over the berm or, you know, try and go for points. But, you know, like I've said a million times, I made the mistake. That's why I'm 16 points behind. And, you know, we just have a great race, and, you know, the crowd loves it.
Well, great champion. Chad Reed winning tonight. He won at bigger whoops, but it doesn't matter. He won anyway. Great job, Chad.
Thanks, Cameron.
All right, thank you very much, Cameron. As we take a look at the Honda Series standings, Ricky Carmichael, 323, Chad Reed, 310, Ernesto Fonseca in third, and then Vuillemin and Nick Way in a virtual tie. Let's send it back down to the track, and Cameron.
Well, definitely if you guys weren't streaming at your TV, you weren't watching the same race I was. Ricky Carmichael finishing second tonight, the 4th time in a row. Ricky, where is the game plan breaking down?
I don't know, you know, Chad's riding really good, his bike's working good, and mine is too, but look, after that finish, looks like I need to get a little faster, no way around it, you know, so I gotta keep trying to go, you know what I mean? And that was a fun race. I wish I would have came up on the better side, but, you know, that's sport, and need to work a little harder.
Congratulations, Ricky, you're a great champion. We look forward to next time.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Cameron. Well, Chad Reed already has 1 title. As we take a look at the THQ World Supercross GP standings, it is Reed, Vuillemin, and Ferry. And Chad Reed has already secured that title, as we said at the top of the show. Will he get a 2nd title? We'll have to wait and see with 2 more stops to go. On behalf of Jamie Little and Cameron Steele and the champ, David Bailey, I'm Todd Harris saying good night from Texas Stadium as the